From crocs and bears to strange trespassers, these are the 10 weirdest and strangest things ever to be discovered in a pool. Number 10. A cow's misadventures. Now, do you know that there are safety barrier guidelines for residential pools? Apparently, they are issued by the U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission. Well, now you know, so go look them up and go through the guidelines before setting up a pool, or if you already have one. This type of unfortunate incident is exactly what will happen when you don't follow the guidelines. As it happens, humans, especially kids, are not the only water lovers around. Do you know that most animals have a natural instinct to find water and where it is located? So naturally, animals are attracted to any water source around. A pool is a great place to start with. A pool full of kids? Now that's much better depending on what kind of animal you are. This cow came right into a public pool during a kid's swim meet. Imagine what must have happened. Panicked kids and parents running around must have freaked out the cow as well. Now we don't know exactly what the location was, but the thing was a small disaster. The cow fell in the pool, and it took a whole lot of effort to pull the poor soul out. Silly cow, how did it not realize that it should have used the stairs to get out, right? As it turned out, the place where this pool was located didn't have a good fence, and it wasn't tall or strong enough. Here are the recommended fence measurements. Fences should be a minimum of 4 feet high, with spacing between vertical barriers no greater than 4 inches, and include self-latching gates. This will keep cows and all other sorts of uninvited guests away from your pool. Number 9. Out of the swamp, into the pool. We all like a change from time to time now, don't we? Well, I guess the same is applicable to animals as well. In this case, to a particular pool-loving crocodile. As it turns out, this croc was sick of swimming and loitering around the swamps and thought of having a little vacation time and relaxing in a pool. Well, who can blame him? A couple from Pennsylvania thought that they should move into a home with a nice view and a pool in the Florida Keys near Isla Mirada. They moved in 4 days later and surprisingly found out that it already had a tenant, a saltwater crocodile. This big boy was at least 10 feet long. According to the couple, the creature was at complete ease, just hanging out in the pool without a care in the world. The worried couple called the sheriff on the trespasser, but the sheriff, or anyone else, didn't have to do anything. The croc simply had enough of his pool vacation and the attention he was starting to get. He climbed out of the pool and wandered back into the ocean. So what's the takeaway of the story? Better to use a strong automatic safety cover to cover the pool whenever you are not using it. It will keep the grass, pollen, dust, and ducks away, and of course, the crocodiles too. Number 8. Bear with the bear. Who doesn't like a swim in a pool followed by some decompression in a hot tub? Isn't that why we have them in our homes in the first place? On a cold morning, couple Tony and Denise Diering had the scare of their lives when they found a huge black bear in their pool. Well, since bears are often 550 pounds and at least 5.5 feet long, the couple was smart enough not to mess around with it and video recorded the entire incident. Seemingly, the guy didn't like the cold water after chilling in the pool for some time and went to relax in the couple's hot tub next. Around 15 minutes later, the bear had enough and roamed away back into the woods. The Dierings and the neighbors are concerned about the incident, since it's difficult to bear with the bears while the children are around. However, the bear hasn't been sighted so far, and that's good news. And how can you avoid something like this? Simple. Just buy a house in a neighborhood where bears aren't around. See? So simple. Speaking about big bad bears, have you subscribed to The Biggest yet? Go on, hit subscribe and click on the bell button too. That way you can stay updated as soon as another awesome video gets released. Number 7. Underwater parking available. Late night joyrides always end up in a disaster, especially when the joy is tied to alcohol, a few hours of heavy partying, and of course, a bunch of friends who see double. Don't believe it? Here is the proof of some of the consequences. On a misty morning around 4 a.m. in 2014, a teenager and his gang of misfit friends went out on a joyride in Cypress, Texas, and drove straight into the pool. Yup, their Dodge Charger smashed right through a wooden fence and dived deep into Liana Brownlee's pool. The accident contaminated her pool with oil, and luckily none of those joyriders were harmed, except some minor injuries, a nice diving experience, and a little hangover. However, things could have been much worse. If it wasn't for the pool, the car could have smashed right into Liana's bedroom. In fact, straight into her side of the bed. Who would have thought that pools could be lifesavers? Number 6. Invaded by a duck dynasty. They are cute and they are lovable. More importantly, they are fun to watch. But sharing a pool with them is no easy job. In fact, it could end up in a mess that's really hard to fix. Such was the experience of a group of kids while they were enjoying themselves in a public pool. A group of ducks just swarmed in and landed in the middle of the pool and started to wreak havoc. The frightened kids just rushed to get out of the pool. The ducks can be cute, but not when they start to attack you. And trust me, a duck attack could hurt and even injure you really badly if it's in your face or eyes. All in all, the ducks took off and went away. And the kids went back to using the pool just like that. How can a pool owner avoid such trespassers? Well, you can cover up the pool when you are not using it, but if they come in while you are using it, well, better to just let them chill and stay away until they get out. Number 5. Trash can mystery. Apparently, it's not just people and animals that make it into the pools, even the trash. It is disgusting, and I can already imagine the bad smell, but still, yes, it is true. One day, Kelsey, a competitive swimmer, found out that there was a trash can in her pool. Well, good thing she didn't go into the pool to find it out. The water was already yellow and stinky when she went to check it out. So, the last time I checked, trash cans didn't walk around. So, someone must have thrown it into the pool. Maybe, since the road was just nearby, separated only by a low wall, someone from outside threw it? That is a possibility, right? I've heard of swimming pools being made out of large dumpsters, but not a swimming pool being turned into a dumpster. However, the family had to remove and refill the whole pool after a thorough cleanup. And the pool is now back in good shape. Do you know what is more disgusting than trash? It's people who do dirty stuff just like this. Number 4. Pool under fire. Imagine relaxing by the poolside. Your kids are in the pool and you are having a cold drink, listening to your favorite music. What a perfect evening. Now imagine a stray bullet out of nowhere hits the pool. Yes, the last thing you need to end such a lovely day is either for you or someone you love to get shot, and by a stray bullet even. This is a real issue some pool owners face when there is a gun range nearby. One family, living about a quarter-mile away from Saranac-Lowell State Game Area shooting range, really had to go through this painful experience. Although the gun range has taken measures to prevent such incidents, from time to time, bullets flying from nearby gunfire can land in unexpected places. This phenomenon is still happening. And guess what? Stray bullets are a real threat. Some people have died when they get hit by stray bullets. This is not an issue that should be ignored, as gun violence can strike at random. So, to avoid such scenarios, please look at what's around the neighborhood before buying a house or a plot of land. And make sure you are at least a couple of miles away from shooting ranges and military bases. Number 3. The unfortunate raccoon. Have you ever heard of animals dying by drowning? Not so much, right? But it happens. Of course, there aren't going to be as many stories publicizing their deaths, at least not as much as humans, but it happens to animals too. It's true, there are unfortunate poor souls just like that. Imagine yourself running to the pool early in the morning to have a swim, but suddenly finding a dead raccoon floating in the pool. Yes, that is the exact experience numerous people and families have had to go through on a really bad day. And guess what? Often, they don't know which was worse, the sight of a dead raccoon or the smell of a dead raccoon. The family always has to clean the pool fully and refill it. How can you avoid such a fate while saving the life of a raccoon that can't really swim? Simple. Use a pool cover and keep it covered while you are not using it. Speaking of disturbing discoveries in the pool, do you have a pool in your backyard? Have you ever found any strange things in your pool? Go on, let me know, and share your exciting stories down below in the comments. Number 2, invasion of frogs. Have you ever had a never-ending battle with a frog that trespassed into your house? Well, if you haven't, believe me when I tell you, it is awful, and catching one is almost next to impossible. Now imagine a bunch of frogs swimming and jumping around your pool. This was the experience of one family when they went to spend their evening in the swimming pool. Can you imagine what they must have gone through? Chasing and running around frogs, fishing them out of the pool must have surely ruined their day and contaminated the pool in the process. After some heavy-duty work, the family was able to repel the invasion of the frogs and reclaim their pool for themselves. If you don't need to go through such invasions from frogs, insects, and other animals, make sure to cover your pool. As it bears repeating, negligent pool owners often find trouble just like this. Number 1. Misadventures of a Nude Dude. Well, after all, the strangest thing found in a pool was not an animal or an object, but of course, a fellow human being. Surprising, isn't it? Since people are the least strange thing in a pool. I mean, pools are meant for people, right? Well, at least not this particular human being. One day in July, a woman in Ontario, Canada, returned home after work only to find you guessed it, a skinny young man without his pants. Yep, he had also helped himself by getting some snacks and even taking a shower before chilling in the pool. After the woman saw him, however, Mr. Nude Dude had run away into the nearby woods. However, the police arrested the exhibitionist later on and found out that alcohol and drug addiction were factors to this unusual misadventure. And how to protect yourself and your pool from skinny nude dudes and other human trespassers? Post private property notices around, install motion detectors and other defensive alarms, and use a little help from Mother Nature. There are many thorny bushes and thick landscaping hedges that can be used to stop trespassers, especially naked ones. And that is all for today, friends. I hope you gained some good insight into the weird and strange things that can find their way into a pool, from animals to weird naked dudes. Don't forget to share this with your friends and share the fun, and make sure to subscribe to The Biggest. New cool videos are coming out every week. Until next time,